Hi, this is Donna from Clever Crafting. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm making another card today out of my scraps. You can see here that I've just stuck a piece of acetate on the front of a card. I actually cut a portion of the front of the card off and just left probably about a 2 centimeter strip across the top that I stuck the acetate to. And now I've got these strips of paper that I've got from a paper pack that was in one of our card kits earlier, so they all match. And these are scraps that I've cut into strips. I'm just popping some double-sided tape on it. I'm putting double-sided tape on it because I'm sticking it onto acetate and it works better than glue. But you could use a tape runner if you've got that as well. You may also notice too that I've got going down in descending order. I've got the largest, widest pieces at the top, and I'm going down, to narrower pieces as I go down the front of the card. So with my double-sided tape, I've just pulled back some of the release paper and folded it back so I could line it up, and then remove the rest of the release paper once it was in position. I've done that to all of the ones on the front. Some of them were a little bit longer, but that's okay. I've left that overhang there. I'll trim them in a minute. And what I've got is I've actually cut two of each of the pieces, and I'm now popping them on the back as well. This way we'll keep it really nice and neat. So when you look at the card from the inside, it's as neat as it is on the outside. So we just don't want to see all of the sticky and everything, all the plain white pieces on the back of the acetate. This way, as I said, it keeps it nice and neat. That's actually the inside of the card that you're looking at there. So look how lovely that looks. It's a really nice way of doing things, and it's a good way of using up a few extra pieces of those scraps. The other advantage, of course, too, is if you're using a finer acetate, it will give it a little bit more stability. So this here is a nappy wipe that I've used to clean up my mess. You can see it's a bit stained, and I've cut about a third of it off. The larger piece I'm folding into four, and I'm going to cut a circle out of it. So while that's happening, just let me tell you that I saw this was a video that one of my friends shared, in actual fact, and it was from about 6 years ago. I'm going to see if I can find the video again and pop the link down in the description box. This lady making these flowers using baby wipes, they were just amazing. So this is the very, very first one of these that I've ever tried, and I decided to film it. So it comes up quite well, and just like everything, I'm sure I'd get better with practice. So the first piece, as I said, I folded into four it's kind of like a square, and cut it into a circle. The narrower piece, I folded it an extra time. So instead of having 4 pieces, when I've cut this out, I'll end up with 8 pieces. The circles don't have to be perfect. In actual fact, nothing in nature is perfect every single time. So it's quite all right just to freehand it, but you can draw a circle around if you wanted to be a little bit more precise. You could probably even cut individual petals if you really wanted to. That's not something that I have done or tried. I haven't even tried that, so I'm assuming it'll work. I'm not really sure. So all we're going to do is stack them. For the center, I did say I had 8 pieces, but I only want to use 4. So I've just stacked 4 of them together, and I'm using my heat tool. You could see that I made sure it was nice and hot before I started doing this. And I am literally just using my heat tool and applying it onto these pieces of nappy wipes. So, and they curl up. It's just amazing. They kind of get hot. You can smell it. They get hot and they shrivel up and they curl up. It's just fabulous. I was really happy with the result. I am assuming, of course, that everybody is using baby wipes the same way I do for cleanup. I use them a lot for ink blending. When I do ink blending and I'm cleaning up the mess that I made on my desk, actually these ones are ink that I've got on them, but I also use them when I'm using paints and all sorts of things. So all right, so all I'm doing here is popping some Smart Art glue between all of the layers, and I'm going to glue an enamel dot in the center. And there's my flower. Now you can't really tell here, but honestly it looks like felt. When they're done, they look really like felt. They're amazing. Couldn't help myself. I had the other 4 little pieces left over, so decided that I needed to try that out as well, and I did, and I was also really happy with the result. A little bit of glue to pop my piece in the center. I had actually glued this one before I heated it because I thought I'd try it the other way around, so you just didn't see that on camera. And there it is, nice little flower. All right, so of course I didn't like the colors that I made the flowers with, so I made this little one off camera, and I felt that it blends in much nicer with the rest of the card. So it's a nice, smart looking card and quite easy to make. So here's a couple of close-ups of the card. There you can really see that that flower looks a bit like felt. I certainly hope you've learned something today and you've enjoyed this little video and that you do try some things out. If you do, we'd love to see what your creations are over on our Facebook group. I'll leave a link below in the description box. If you're not currently a subscriber, I'd love you to join my little YouTube subscribers by hitting that subscribe button, I beg your pardon, and maybe give me a thumbs up as well. So until next time, stay safe and happy crafting.